Hello students, today the topic of our discussion is presentation of data. So let's start the discussion. First of all, let's see what is presentation of data. Presentation of data is a next step of a collection of data. After calculation of data and organization of data, we have the next step of calculation of data, that is presentation of data. Here we can organize, summarize and communicate the information with the help of different tools such as tables, graphs and diagrams. जब हम बहुत सारे tools जैसे tables हैं, diagrams हैं या ग्राफ्स हैं, इनकी हेल्प से कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन जो कलेक्ट की गई है, ऑर्गेनाइज की गई है, उसको जब हम प्रेजेंट करें और उस इंफॉर्मेशन को समराइज करके कम्युनिकेट कर पाएँ टू with the people is called the presentation of data. So it is a method to communicate the information. We have different types of presentation of data here. The tabular presentation, when we present the data in the form of tables, it is called the tabular presentation. And when we present the data in the form of graphs or diagrams, which attracts the visual sense, is called the visual presentation. There are different uses of presentation, like it is easy and it is better understandable. It gives us the better understanding of the subject. It provides first-hand information about the data. It is helpful for the future analysis. It is very easy for making comparisons and attractive also. Here are the main principles of presentation. Data should be presented in a simple form. It should arouse interest in reader. It should be concise and without losing important details. छोटा तो होना चाहिए presentation, concise होना चाहिए, but important details cover होने चाहिए. The data should be presented in such a form. It should facilitate further statistical analysis, and the presentation should be such which define a problem and also suggest its solution. So first of all, we have tabulation, under which the data is presented in the form of a table. And what is a table? A table is the systematic and logical arrangement of data in rows and columns. Here we have a table. Table should have the title, table number, a row heading, column heading, body of the table and row entries. And there should be a footnote and source of the table from here where it is collected. There are different types of table basis on the purpose and content. On the basis of purpose, we have reference table and text tables. On the basis of content, we have simple table, complex tables, and complex table is further divided into double tables, triple tables, and multiple tables. A reference table is a general purpose table for reference purposes. It contains only absolute and actual figures and round numbers or percentages. This is an example. On the other hand, we have text tables, which are special purpose or derivative tables. It brings out a specific point. It includes ratios, percentage, averages. It should be found in the body of the text. When the table has only one characteristic, it is called a simple table. And when it has two characteristics, it is called double table. For example, here we have food habit of vegetarians as well as they have non-vegetarians. So this table is the double table. A triple table has data relating to three characteristics. Here we have a triple table. And multiple table has more than three characteristics. We have food habits of vegetarians, non-vegetarians, and age of the people is also given here. And the table represents Here, more than 3 characteristics. Next is graphs and diagrams. Data is also presented in the form of graphs and diagrams. Different advantages of graphs and diagrams are that they are attractive, they can be easily understood, it facilitates comparison of different characteristics, it leaves an impression which is long lasting, and theorems and results of statistics can be visualized using graphs. There are different graphs and diagrams with the help of which data is presented. In the graphs, we have histogram, frequency curve, frequency polygon, ogives, and line graph. In the diagram side, we have bar diagram, different type of bar diagrams, and pie diagram. Let's discuss them one by one. First, we have histogram. It is presented by a set of rectangular bars. Variables हम x-axis पे लेते हैं और frequency we take along y-axis. The set of rectangular bars so obtains gives us histogram. क्लास इंटरवल की बेस की हेल्प से हम रेक्टेंगल्स को उनकी हाइट उनकी फ्रीक्वेंसी के अकॉर्डिंगली ड्रॉ करते हैं. सो वी कैन से द टोटल एरिया ऑफ द रेक्टेंगल्स इन अ हिस्टोग्राम प्रेजेंट टोटल फ्रीक्वेंसी. और अगर डेटा हमारे पास इंक्लूसिव सीरीज़ में है, इंक्लूसिव क्लास इंटरवल्स में है, दे हैव टू बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू एक्सक्लूसिव टाइप. इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट टू नोट that mode of the distribution can be obtained from the histogram. It could be asked also in the question papers. So you should always remember that mode of the distribution can be obtained from the histogram. Here we have height of people in centimeter and frequency. We are measuring the height along the x-axis and frequency on the y-axis, and here we have histogram as the rectangular bars. And this is the mode of the distribution. Next we have frequency curve. Here the variables is taken along the x-axis and frequencies along the y-axis. Frequencies are plotted against the mid values, class mid values, and then these points are joined in a smooth curve like this, and we obtain our frequency curve. Total area under the frequency curve represents the total frequency. Here the frequencies are plotted against the class mid values and then they are joined, and we then obtain our frequency curve. Frequency polygon is also like frequency curve. Here also we join the class midpoints, but here we join the points by straight line. This is a frequency polygon. The total area under frequency curve represents the total frequency. Here we have a frequency polygon. Then we have ogives. It is a smooth graph with not frequency but the cumulative frequencies. It is plotted against the values of variables. Class limits are taken along the x-axis and cumulative frequency along the y-axis. Ogives are generally of two types: less than cumulative frequency curve and greater than cumulative frequency curve, or it is called less than ogive or greater than ogive. Here we have the graph of ogive. Here the cumulative frequencies are plotted against the values of variables, and it is a smooth graph. As you can see, this is the greater than ogive and this is the less than ogive. Greater than ogive is declining, and here we can see the less than ogive is positive, and here where the two intersects we have the median. Then we have line graphs. Line graphs are used to display the comparison between two variables which are plotted on the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis represents measure of time while y-axis represents percentage or measure of quantity. इसमें डेटा बहुत क्लियरली प्रेजेंट किया जाता है and it also shows the relationship between the data. Line graphs displays a change in direction. It also shows the trend of event over a period of time to know whether it is increased or decreased. Here we have a line graph showing the retail prices of petrol, diesel along with the price of crude oil. This is diesel, this is the price of petrol, and this is the price of Indian crude basket, the crude oil. So here we can derive a relationship between the three. We can see the trends over the time also. Then we have pie diagram. It presents the discrete data of qualitative characteristics such as age group, sex group. The frequency of the groups are shown in a circle. First we have to calculate the size of each angle, which is calculated by dividing the frequency with the total frequency and multiply the ratio by 360 degree. For making a pie chart, we have to understand different steps. First we have to draw a circle, then find the center point, then draw a radius, and with the help of this radius we can start using a protractor and marking the angle of for the first pie slice. For example, first हमारा अगर angle ऐसे ही आता है, so this is our first pie slice, so it will be like this. एंगल्स फाइंड करने के लिए हमें फ्रीक्वेंसी को उसकी टोटल फ्रीक्वेंसी के साथ डिवाइड करना है और मल्टीप्लाई करना है 360 डिग्री के साथ. We will get the angles. Here we have a table. It gives us the favorite color and the frequencies. Just divide the frequency by the total frequency and multiply it by 360. First is 6 divided by 40 into 360. We will get our first angle, which is 54 degree. Likewise, you will get the other angles also. And the sum of all angles is 360. And then you can draw your pie chart. Then we have bar diagrams. Bar diagrams consist a series of rectangular bars of equal width. Like this, we have this bar diagrams here. The bar stands on common baseline with equal gap between one bar and another. Bars के बीच में जो gap है वो equal रहेगा. And the bars may be either horizontal and vertical. As you can see, it can be horizontal or vertical. It should be constructed in such a way that their lengths are proportional to the magnitudes. The space between the consecutive bars are equal and the width is also equal. This is an example of a simple bar diagram. It has a single characteristics. When we have more than two components, that can be shown with the help of subdivided bar diagram. Here you can see as the bar is subdivided into different components. This is drawn when a comparison of total magnitudes along with the components is required. Here the bars are divided so that the subdivisions in height represent the components. As you can see here, nursing degree course. In nursing degree course, strength of the students are shown here. This is the strength of girls and this is the strength of boys. There are two components shown in one bar diagram, that is subdivided bar diagram. Then we have percentage bar diagrams. When different bar diagrams show the components in the form of percentage, that is called percentage bar diagrams. These bars are divided according to their percentage components. The different subdivisions are shaded properly and an index which describes the shades is provided so that you can easily understand it. Then we have multiple bar diagrams. Here, two or more different comparable sets of values, multiple bars are drawn. For example, here we have different rectangular bars of equal width with the height proportional to the value are drawn. Here we have multiple bar diagrams. It shows the strength of student based on gender classification in nursing degree course. Green one is stand for girls and pink stand for boys. So with this our discussion came to an end. Thank you everyone for the discussion. Thank you all.